Hey, what's up everyone? It's your boy Rem20 here today, back with another All's Justice video for all of you. And today, we are going to be talking about the roster. Yes, I said in my post that I was going to talk about the roster and who I think is going to come, because after recent V-jumps, I kind of know what's going on, and
it's kind of got me a little annoyed.
So, we're going to try to dissect some things and maybe predict some characters and see if maybe hope some of my predictions come true. So without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? So the first character I think is coming is, because I definitely don't think we're gonna get just the war arc for My Hero Academia, is shoot style Izuku Midoriya when he was fighting against Gentle Criminal. Yes, I'm talking about the one with that jacket. He may not have appeared in Ultra Rumble or in Ultra Impact, but he definitely is going to appear in this game. They literally have enough of a moveset to make up a whole character for this dude. The next one I think is coming is, I want y'all to take this with a grain of salt, because I definitely feel like movie characters are coming. They literally said it's supposed to be the largest roster with villains and heroes, is the Heroes Rising version of Izuku Midoriya, who would have the ability to transform into his 100% form. Now, I know that's crazy, but it's not far-fetched. The literal freaking name for the transformation system is Rising, so I mean, it would make sense. Also, the next character I think that will appear is the World Heroes Mission Izuku, who will also have the ability to transform into his 100% form. I don't know if that'll probably be the case. That probably won't be, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, some of y'all might be wondering, why am I going over movie characters? Well, they said it's supposed to be the largest roster, and we have not had a single movie character for the last couple of games. So I think it's high time we do get movie characters. I know they can add them in. They literally have Horikoshi's permission now, so there's no excuse. Anyways, the next Izuku I think is going to appear will be the Your Next version of Izuku, because I mean, they have a whole bunch of different moves they can go off of. A whole bunch of different moves, including doing like Izuku's merge version of all his smashes as his literal ultimate. Anyway, back to sticking with the seasons, the next Izuku, who I think is going to get a slot or will be playable, why do I keep saying slots because of Sparking Zero, will be the Paramount Liberation War Izuku. Now this one I know for a fact has to appear. If they're going to just do the final war arc, that wouldn't make sense, and they're taking a whole year to work on it. There's no way we don't get another Izuku for the Paramount Liberation War in the process. Now, the next character I know is a fan favorite, and I really hope he gets in too. I mean, he got a costume, but I'm praying he actually gets himself his own playable spot on the roster. Vigilante Deku. Now, I know for a fact people would be hyped if this guy made it in. He was so amazing, so cool, and so badass against Lady Nagant. But if he didn't make it in, I don't know how I would actually feel. So, we know that our first Izuku that was shown was the one against Shigaraki. But the next one after that, I definitely think is going to be the one against Shigaraki, in the final battle that transformed into Overlay. If that one does not appear and gets locked behind DLC,
I will be so mad.
Now, I'm going to just throw this out here, because he was shown off in the last chapter of My Hero Academia. Future Izuku Midoriya. Now, I know what y'all are thinking. How the hell would they make that work? Well, simple. Bite King has a way of actually crafting different movesets of characters that I've never actually really fought before and making them really stupendously creative, like what they did with Hatsune. Anyway, I feel like the next character that's going to appear is the Heroes Rising version of Bakugo that will be able to transform into his one-for-all state. Now, if they add this version of Bakugo in, that has to be the trigger to getting a whole bunch of people buying this game, because I know people, when they watched Heroes Rising, were so amazed when they saw Bakugo ascend to a one-for-all state. So seeing that in the game, they definitely would want to buy it. Anyways, the next Bakugo that I think is going to appear will be the World Heroes Mission Bakugo and the Your Next Bakugo. Because, I mean, they didn't exactly do much in both movies. Well, in World Heroes Mission, Bakugo didn't really do much. But he had enough that he can be his own little character, especially with Impact had worked on a character moveset for him. So I definitely feel like it's possible. But with your next, I know it's guaranteed. Like, it has to be guaranteed. Like, what type of game wouldn't add a character that would be perfect when he has all the moves that he would be required for, especially some new ones? Now, you know it ain't an MHA game and now added another Bakugo, so we're gonna do the Paramountain Liberation art version of Bakugo. Now, this one I can see possibly not getting added for multiple reasons, unfortunately. One, that Bakugo kind of only used one move, and two, he pretty much fired a bunch of explosions that were kind of unnamed. But he did use Cluster, so there might be a chance. We'll just have to wait and see. The final Bakugo that's going to get added, or second to last, is going to be Cluster Bakugo. Now, this one I kind of find it a little interesting, but his quirk awakening in the game is his pincers, or the armor, and it's not his cluster, which it should be cluster, because that's the same form where, like, he did a whole bunch of different attacks against Shigaraki. But I get it, because some of them were literally, all of them were all unnamed, so it does make sense why cluster's not his awakening, and it's the armored form. So, yeah. So the next character is going to be Todoroki from Heroes Rising. This one, I feel like is going to get skipped over because, again, just like Bakugo from the Paramountain Liberation War, he didn't do a lot either. This Todoroki kind of had only a couple of attacks. I mean, besides that one move he did against that big old wolf, that was pretty much it. However, the next one did a lot, and he's definitely guaranteed to get a slot, especially the fact since he got a costume before, and that is World Heroes Mission Todoroki. This one, I really am hoping to get in, because if he doesn't get in, I'm going to be really annoyed, because that one had a whole bunch of moves in the movie where he literally did a whole bunch of different attacks that were just amazing, especially since I think it was the first time he used Jet Kindling Flash Fire Fist. I could be wrong, but I think that's the first time that he was able to use that attack. Speaking of Flash Fire Fist, the next Todoroki that's going to appear is the Paramountain Liberation War Todoroki. That one, it probably is, I don't think it's going to get skipped over. They're going to probably do a couple new tweaks with his moveset. I mean, I know that for a fact, and that's probably going to be the last one, because we already have foes for him. Besides that, Todoroki didn't do anything else in the final war arc, except the last one in your next, which actually, yeah, that one did do a lot of different abilities. I keep forgetting about that. That one literally stood up to Dark Might, teamed up with Bakugo, and all the while, except it did a whole bunch of different abilities using both his left and his right side. So yeah, he definitely could get a slot. That I actually didn't think about that. But character slots aside, the next character that's going to appear is the final war arc version of Uraraka. Now, I'm going to skip over the Paramountain Liberation War version of her because she didn't really do much except did some gun martial arts against Toga and evacuated civilians. Oh, and this one would have the ability would have her quirk awakening pretty much. And which basically would make the terrain where you just float in the air, like how it worked in the anime. So yeah, that one will probably get added. I wouldn't expect nothing less if King decided to add that one. I mean, for God's sake, we literally have already one from the previous game. So if she doesn't get added, I mean, that's going to be kind of disappointing, King. I mean, like, what the heck are you doing? The next character that's going to be appearing in All's Justice is going to be someone who I don't think anyone really wants, but here, 13. I don't really know what to go off of this. I know 13's quirk is black holes. She does have the ability of black holes, but we never really see her fully utilize them. Like, it's not exactly a good quirk, but still, like, I mean, if Hatsume can get in and Midnight too, then I'm pretty sure they can create a good and decent moveset for 13. Plus, I mean, 13 did appear in pretty much the Dark Hero arc, the Final War arc. So, I mean, yeah. The next character I'm going to be talking about is going to be Mina Ashido, because I definitely feel like she's going to get another variation. There's no way it's just going to be one with a new ultimate and that's just it. I don't feel like that's it. In my case, I feel like she's going to get the one with Acid Man, literally as her awakening. There's no way it's just going to be the same Mina Ashido, just with a new ultimate and then like with a new awakening. Like, that would be so dumb. The next character that I'm going to be talking about is Denki Kaminari, because I mean, let's be honest, even though we saw his V jump and that he's basically the same one from One Justice 2, we know for a damn fact they're gonna make another one. That's how these games are. Think about it, how Demon Slayer does it, Sparking Zero, freaking Naruto Storm. That's how these games are. They always add variations of the same character from a different arc. Speaking of the same character getting a new variation from a different arc, no one deserves another variation of themselves more than Ichiro Kirishima. And I know what y'all are thinking. Why am I talking about him? You know why. We were robbed. We deserved Unbreakable and we never got Unbreakable. This game, like, this is their last chance to bring Unbreakable in this game. If they don't, then that just shows they just hate Kirishima and they just love the main characters. And speaking of a character that could really use some love, I think no one else besides Kyoka Jiro, because from what I saw in the V-Jump, it just looks like she's gonna get a reskin and that's it. Like, give us the other variation, the one we saw in Final War. She literally fought against All For One. Where's that one? Why can't we have that one? Why didn't you give us a new one? Please. I am begging these people, give us another Jiro. Jiro deserves more love, more time to shine. Alright, besides everyone else in Class 1A getting a brand new variation of themselves, or a freaking reskin, let's talk about other characters that need time to appear in this game. Class 1B, and the first one we're going to be talking about is Seto, I think? Alright, there we go. Yozetsu Awaz, whatever his name is. Honestly, I kind of feel like he needs to appear in this game. Because Baiken could definitely make a moveset for characters who barely got a chance to fight. Like, if this guy doesn't appear in the game, I feel like that means Class 1B's chances, like other people in Class 1B who didn't really play a significant part in anywhere else in the MHA universe, are kind of not gonna be in this game. But I mean, if Tetsu and Kendo made it into the last game, then I'm pretty sure everyone else in Class 1B can make it into this game. Besides, we have Monoma already announced. So maybe we can get some other characters in this game. Maybe some parts of Class 1B can be behind DLC, as much as I hate to say that. I mean, we don't know, and we won't probably know for another couple of months, so we'll just have to wait and see. So the next character I feel like is gonna maybe have two separate variations. So the next one is Prime All Might, and then the All Might we have from One Justice 2, maybe with a newer move. I definitely feel like Prime All Might is definitely gonna appear in this game, because we have Armored Might, and then we also will probably have the original All Might. So I mean, it would make sense, wouldn't it? The next pro hero we're gonna be, or who's going to appear, is going to be Best Genus. And he's definitely going to appear, as well as Ed Shot. Both of them are going to appear, because the amount of crap they did in the War arc, as well as all the other arcs in general, hell, both of them even fought against All For One. So yeah, they're both definitely going to appear in here. With Best Genus's tendril wires, and then Ed Shot's ribbons, they're definitely going to appear. They're going to be a powerhouse, honestly. The next one is going to be the myth, the man, the legend, Endeavor. Now with this, I feel like we probably will get two. One from the Final War arc, and then one from the Paramount Liberation arc, with him having both his explosion-like attack, and then him also having his other move that he did in freaking the Paramount Liberation War. That movie did get Shigaraki. So yeah, I definitely feel like we're gonna get 2 of them because like we already have 1 Endeavor. So I mean, what's stopping us from getting 2 more? The next character who's going to be joining the All's Justice roster is going to be, in my opinion, I really hope he gets in, Shindo. After everything I've seen, this dude deserves to be in. Bro has literally the power of vibrate, the ability to make the earth tremble. That in itself is really cool. And if that's not enough, he has an ultimate move himself. Firming Cloud, I think that's what it's called. It's a really powerful move that makes the whole area around him vibrate. He literally faced Muscular all by himself. Or he tried to before Deku showed up. I mean, that's sheer bravery, and that alone should make him a valuable character to add onto this game. The next one I'm going to be talking about is someone who's appeared in Ultra Rumble already and is probably going to appear in this game. Cementos. Okay, honestly, Cementos making it in I wouldn't even be surprised, and I don't think anyone else would be too. Because let's be honest, he's appeared in Ultra Rumble, he hasn't appeared in Ultra Impact, but he's appeared in a literal video game before. So, there's nothing really stopping him or blocking him from appearing in this one, is there? Now, one character that really deserves love in almost every single game is Snipe. He's never appeared in any of the games. Like, there are people online who I've seen on Twitter who just want Snipe in All's Justice since it's the last one. Honestly, I would love to see how they would work with Snipe since he wields guns and all. But I mean, Cyber Connect made Genya, and Genya didn't really fight a lot, but they literally created a whole moveset off of him, so I'm pretty sure Snipe will make it into this game. Next one who I think is going to get added is Valet King. He's the pro hero that manipulates blood, and him being added, that would be really cool, because I've never seen him appear in any other game. I know a lot about him. Like, he's a really interesting character. He literally has the ability to shift and manipulate anyone's blood, and can literally use the blood to trap his opponents in. So I'm pretty sure he would be a pretty good asset to this game. Now, the next character I'm going to be talking about is Gran Torino, but not just the Gran Torino in his prime. I know that's far-fetched, but I would love to see how they could make that work. I would really love to see a prime variation of Gran Torino. I mean, like, if he gets added into this game in his prime, I would lose my mind, even if it was DLC. If this is the last game, then no one else needs to be added besides this dude right here, Mora. Mora didn't appear in the last game, and I was kind of disappointed about it, but it kind of made sense because he didn't really do anything until the final war. That's when we actually got to see more of Mora's woolly abilities. And that alone should give Mora the complete right to appear in All's Justice. Now, I know I said Prime Gran Torino was a little far-fetched, but this next one is probably the biggest far-fetched. I'm thinking maybe it's possible, like, what if the Pussycats got added in? Like, I mean, that could work because they all have quirks in their own sort of way. And I mean, literally, they added Midnight, who literally didn't really showcase any of her powers until the war arc. So, yeah, there's a chance. Now, if this pro hero were to get added, they definitely would have a shot since they're not all big. And that pro hero would be Ryuko. Yeah, this is one character that never got added into the last game, and I was highly disappointed about it. But now she can, because she would basically have her base form and her Dragonite state. So I could definitely see them adding her in. Just imagine how powerful she would be. The amount of damage she would be in her Dragonite state. Bro, Rising is a beautiful gift, I swear. The pro hero I don't hear anyone really talking about is the pro hero Shishido, which I would love to actually see in this game. His quirk is Lion, which basically makes him faster and stronger, but also makes his claws sharp like a lion. So I do really feel like that would be interesting to see how they would work with his moveset. And, well, I mean, again, this is the last game, so they gotta go all out with their choices sometimes. And finally, last but not least, The pro hero who I definitely know for a fact is coming. Stars and Stripes. Woo, boy. Her being in this game would be literally adding Yoririchi in Demon Slayer The Hero Coming Chronicles next game. What I'm trying to say is, Stars and Stripes is going to be so OP and broken that you're going to need to have your eyes, your wits, your mind focused on her to make sure you don't slip. Because if you slip once, New Order will get your ass and you will be grass. Also, an added bonus, I'm just going to throw this out there, but what if they added the Vestiges of One For All? Now, I know that is really far-fetched, but, like, listen, they added all the Hashiras from Demon Slayer, and, like, at the time, a lot of them didn't do a lot of moves, and then they just gave them a lot of moves for Hero Coming Chronicles 2. So, it's far-fetched. Even Yoriji Type Zero and even Uzui's wives in Hero Coming Chronicles 2 got movesets. So who's to say the Vestiges couldn't get actual movesets? The thing is, they have quirks. And now, as every single story goes, there are heroes and there are villains. And now, we're going to talk about the villains I think are going to appear. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Shigaraki versus Redestro fight. The Shigaraki versus Redestro. That's what I meant. I feel like that one is definitely going to appear, if not before, then like after this game has released, because like he would have not only his base form, but also the first time he transformed into or awakened his quirk. Then the next Shigaraki I feel like we're gonna get is gonna be the one where he was the Paramount Liberation version of Shigaraki. That one I really feel like is going to be a powerhouse. He would not only have the ability of the quirks he's stolen, but he also would have the ability to sense your energy, like your quirk. Like maybe how that would work is like he can sense how strong you are and then know like the real threat of the situation. I don't know how they could use search. The next Shigaraki would be after the Shigaraki we already have in this game, which would be the Shigaraki who fights Izuku again, but now out of All For One's control. Basically, he would have both his regular form and then that monster-like form that he used against Izuku once before. And I mean, we saw how the other Shigaraki is, like how his combos are, so I can already imagine this one being an actual nightmare. And I wonder if they're gonna make it so that like he can steal other people's quirks and then use it against you. He does that, we're really screwed. Now, I don't know if this form will get added. I'm pretty sure it will. And if this gets added, it's going to be a nightmare to behold. It literally will be like Last Breath Sans. And that form is the form that Shigaraki took when All For One took over his body. Like, I literally mean took over his body. This version of Shigaraki is so powerful that he was able to stockpile a whole bunch of quirks together to blast the heroes back. That's how bad this guy was. I don't even want to think about how he'll be in All's Justice. He could be so fucking powerful to the point where not even Overlay could stop this guy. The next character I want to talk about is Dabi. The Dabi in the Paramount Liberation War, to be exact. I really feel like that one needs to be added. Even though we have the Final War Arc one, I really want that one to be added. Because, like, I just want his awakening to be that dance he did before he was about to destroy or fight against Endeavor. Just for shits and giggles. But still, I do want to see what the Paramount Liberation War of Dabi can do. Because he did display a couple of different abilities. The next character I'm going to talk about is Spinner. Because... yay! Because, I mean, since Shigaraki got his monster form, Spinner will get his as well. And since he's immune at all, I know his quirk. He was actually going to be a really interesting character for All's Justice to work with. I mean, we haven't seen his stage yet, so... But, like, we have the characters for the fight, so we definitely know Spinner's going to come. I mean, that's obvious. The next character I'm going to talk about is... My boy in the sky, Twice. He really deserves another variation. And honestly, I want that variation to have Sad Man's Parade. Because, I mean, we had a twice in One Justice 2 as, like, part of the base roster. But he himself, he did have the ability to make clones, but he didn't have Sad Man's Parade. This would be the perfect opportunity to give Sad Man's Parade to actually both Toga and Twice, because I think that one Toga we saw, I think, is going to have Sad Man's Parade, even though we haven't seen her awakening yet. The next character I'm going to talk about is, I can't believe I'm actually talking about this, but Hood. Hood is a high-end Nomu who fought against Endeavor, and simply put, I kind of would like to see him appear in this game, especially since he actually did put in some work. And I mean, hey, Nomu was playable in One Justice 2. You gotta make Hood playable in this game. The next two characters I'm going to discuss are going to be Redestro and Curious, as stupid as that name is. These are two characters of the Liberation, which Redestro, I feel like, is going to be an interesting case because he has another form when he's at 100% stress, a more monstrous form to use against Shigaraki. So that would be his rising. Curious doesn't have any because she died to Toga, so yeah. The last character of the Liberation Front is Giten. He has the ability of ice, and he kind of was the one who gave Dabi a run for his money. He's actually really powerful with his ice, and he would be an all-out interesting case when it comes to going online head-to-head against Dabi players or Todoroki players with Phosphor. Finally! Alright, next is the movie characters, and the first one we have is Wolfram. This guy is from movie 1. He was kind of annoying. He has the ability to manipulate metal, and he has another state because he has a quirk amplification device. So his first state would be his base form. His second state would be him fully empowered. So yeah, that's Wolfram. On to the next one. The next villain we have from the movies is, oh boy, I don't even know how they're going to handle him. But the next one we have is Nine. If y'all remember Heroes Rising, y'all remember how much of a menace Nine was. This guy has lasers. This guy has lightning. This dude had the ability to control tornadoes. And not to mention the fact that he has a full powered state as well. So his rising form would literally be his full power, which would be terrible for people to dodge. You would have to dodge lightning. You would have to dodge tornadoes, fires, freaking lasers. Anything that Nine has will try to utterly annihilate you. Shit crazy. And if you thought Nine was bad, the next guy is even worse. Flick Turn. This dude has a reflective quirk, and the amount of damage you do will be reflected back on you. They can make an insane movement with this guy. They could make a really badass, insane movement with Fleck. Bro, he literally can just reflect any amount of damage you do. Your Detroit smashes, reflected. Your howitzer impacts, reflected. Your AP shots, reflected. Anything you throw at this guy, he can easily reflect back at you. Shit out of hand, for real. Last movie character, and we have... boy, we got Dark Might. So Dark Might is, he's basically All Might. They could probably make a moveset for this guy pretty easily, since, I mean, they already have a good amount of All Might's moves in their category. But Dark Might has a whole bunch of different alchemy that he uses in Your Next, and it is really insane, to the point where he literally has another form. Thanks to Anna, he was able to strengthen himself tenfold to make himself look even buffer next to All Might Prime, pretty much. And I don't even know what to say. Dark Might would be a nightmare to deal with. He was already crazy enough to deal with in the movie. Imagine how crazy it would be in the game! Why are all the movie characters broken? Alright, y'all. We're going to tell you talking about the last character that I think is going to appear, and that is going to be none other than Final War All for One with the mask on. Now, interesting enough, we didn't see him in the trailer, which means he definitely is probably gonna get pulled over from One Justice 2 into this game. But like, I feel like his rising is going to be where he rewinded to his prime state as an adult, and then like we'll get another variation where he's in that same state, and then like his next rising will be where he becomes a teen, and then like from there we'll get Teen All For One. Because like in the trailer we saw Teen All For One at the end with the whole coming soon. And with that, I'm finished with my roster predictions. Whew, that took a long time. But there you go. Those are my predictions about the characters on the roster. But I mean, what do y'all think? Anyways, that's going to wrap up today's video. Make sure to hit the like button, smash that subscribe button, especially for all the hard work I put into this. And also, question of the day. Who do you want to see appear in this game? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll shout you out. And with all that being said, that was it. Thank you all for watching today's video. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace, Slime Nation.